Host Rat's Majesty, and this is another session of Majesty's music lesson. Hope you're feeling airy and everything is evolving in a positive manner. Yeah, we're greeting to you once again here in Guyana, where lots of things are going on, and we have to give account of what we do in Guyana. We have to give account to the creation. Everyone has to give account. So you can take the lazy boy way out and don't do anything. Maybe drink yourself out, smoke yourself out, something else, eat yourself out, whatever. Or while yourself out, drive wild, kill yourself or something. Or you can take account. I like to take account because my understanding of life is that the purpose of life is to gather knowledge. These things I have garnered from myself because knowledge is scarce. Real knowledge is scarce. And when I say real knowledge, knowledge of oneself and purpose. That's why people get sick. That's why the pharmaceutical industry is one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the world. The medical industry. Because hospital and medication are big profitable actions today. So the teaching in school does not teach you the fundamentals of life. Before, when I was coming up, they taught you at least the principles of life, which is the basic principles of humanity. But then there are the fundamentals. And the number one fundamental is health. Because life was created as something extremely firm, positive, and creative. So if human beings are not in that state of excellence, then it's because of lack of knowledge. And every truth I have found has been confirmed in the scriptures, or the scrolls, rather the scrolls. You got to get rid of the word Bible. The scrolls. Because the people who wrote them as scrolls. People put them together and they became a book of scrolls. And then the name was changed because of language, the Greek language, the Bible. That's how you get biblioteca, you know, in Spanish, right? Which is a library, you know, because you know the European language are what they call the Latin language, Greco-Roman, Greece and Rome, where they came out of, mostly. And that's the word for Bible in Greek. So I have found, so you have to check things for yourself. Now, the scrolls have parables, it has proverbs, it has psalms, it has stories, not his stories. They call it history. But it is facts of life. Some of the facts of life are about scampishness, and falsity, etc., and deception. They are facts of life, but they are not the fundamentals of life. The fundamentals of life are the positive things. And the positive things help you to eliminate the falsities that have become part of life because of the failure of man to gather true knowledge, or the works of the negative force called Lucifer. The negative force, which is Lucifer, is like, I see some money there that don't belong to me and decide to take it. Or it belongs to somebody else, and when you're not looking, I try to get it. That is the negative force, because do unto others what you would like them to do unto you. You wouldn't like someone to stick a gun in your face and take your money, so you stick a gun in people's face and take the money. It's the negative force, because you wouldn't like that. No one will say that they like that. You chop off someone's head, and people come and chop off your head. So, the negative force is the force of Lucifer. And it's really forces. Just like electricity is a force, rocks is a force, you know, and the properties of rocks. So that is what life is. It's physics, physical things, and they have actions, right? Chemistry, physics, biology, etc. So I had to discover these on myself because they are not taught in these times, or they never was taught, because we came up with a European version of education, which was not the African version. The African version comes from the greatest of our achievers. If your knowledge is not based on the greatest of your achievers, your greatest achievers, then what is it built on, based on? Now, your greatest achievers are those who examine the fundamentals of life and solve problems. That's why I had to examine for myself the fundamentals of life and ask myself the question that you hear other people asking time and time again. What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? And my brain tries to solve problems for itself because it knows it has the ability. So my understanding is that the purpose of life is to gather knowledge. You check out knowledge, you prove knowledge, and when it's proven, then you store it. Like you store in a bank, money in the bank. So you have a knowledge bank. And knowledge, the more knowledge you have, is the stronger you will be. As long as you choose to apply that knowledge. Just having it makes you strong. And applying it even makes you stronger. So, this is what I saw the purpose of life, to gather knowledge. So, the fact that people are sick and all these kind of things, so many people, and, you know, and problems cannot be solved, even to take care of the poorest of people with the basics of life, is not possible in modern 2017, then you know something is really wrong. There is no knowledge around. So, what I did, I had to check out some words, right? And I had so many things to talk about. But first, let me remember some things that I missed. A couple of things. Could you believe in my previous program is when I came off, and I think the next day is when I said, wait, you sang a song or part of a song, which was the Producer Perish song. Producer Perish, you ball and produce. And then part of another song, just a little line. But you know, you didn't talk about the Chronic show. And that was the day before. I said, wait, you didn't even mention anything about the Chronic show. I said, so you gotta remember this time to mention. Well, I gotta say it was a pretty good show. For me, better than the one before, right? And it's just like the previous one. Lots of people came out because of culture. It was like a breath of fresh air. So, culture is alive and well. Where does culture come from? Culture is attached to another word. Roots and culture. It is something Guyana has lost. Its roots. Guyana is not a root society, you know. It's a weird society. Weird. A set of weird people with no roots and no culture. No roots and no culture. They're upon money. Now, the Bible tells you, the royal, or the scrolls tell you, the royal line of David shall be cut off, chopped down like a tree. But from the stump, this is Isaiah chapter 11. But from the stump shall grow a shoot. Let me go it again. The royal line of David, King David, will be chopped down, cut down like a tree. But from the stump shall grow a shoot, a new branch from the old root, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him. Spirit of wisdom, counsel, and mightiness. Right? He shall be obedient to the Lord, and he shall not judge by appearance, but shall defend the poor and the oppressed. Anyone who is not defending the poor and the oppressed, they're with Lucifer. And Lucifer is the money people. I tell you, the dollar sign is the mark of the beast. It's a serpent. It is also the slave whip. This is what they beat you with now. Just feel the lashes. And you mark it either once, some currencies is marked once, some marked twice. That's the mark of the beast, the serpent. That's why anyone try to mess with the serpent, with the beast attacks them. That's why they attacked Castro. That's why they embargoed Burnham. That's why they brought down the points to mash Venezuela and others that are coming up. That is why they killed Gaddafi. That's why they killed Saddam and his children. And his children. And they killed one of Gaddafi's children before. It wasn't the first attempt on his life. Because he wanted to move the mark of the beast. You ignore the mark of the beast, like what Castro done. You cast it aside. You want to set up a new system in the world. The American dollar is the mark of the beast. Now, he shall defend the poor and the oppressed, you know. This is why I will always be talking about Burnham. Because that's who he defended. Just like Castro. That's why Chavez became Castro's friend too. He take the oil money and start to give it to the poor. So the rich got mad. Because their God is their money God. The mark of the beast shall be in their forehead, and in their hand. That's all people be thinking of from the time they get up in the morning. Whatever position you put them in, top or bottom, and the hand, they need to hold it. Now, and it's because of lack of other knowledge. These people don't have knowledge. If the European had knowledge, he wouldn't got to kill people and enslave people to progress. People with knowledge progress of their own. The Almighty made everything already. He make gold, he make diamond, he make timber, he make stone. All these things they sell, you know. He makes sand. He make all the edible plants. And all the herbs that people making medicines out and all kind of things. And all the other chemicals that they use them to make different other kind of products and all of that. He make it all. So, the European, they make nothing. He make flight. The Almighty made flight. Everybody could see birds flying. Thousands and thousands of birds flying. So it's not nothing somebody invented out of the head. All these things is, y'all are being hyped. And that's why, because you lack knowledge. Because if you had knowledge, to have knowledge is to know knowledge of the earth and the greatest ancestor. The greatest ancestor is the Almighty. And the other greatest ancestors are those who come in the heights and the creativity of the Almighty. In that pattern, they don't want to kill people to bring something into being. They think, they invent. They don't want to go murder people. So, they default into the system, right? So, it was so good to get some roots and culture. And Guyana lost its roots. I can't lose my roots, you know, because I'd become a stupid person. And even made a song with roots is the foundation of culture. It's a marching song to go into battle. Roots is the foundation of culture. The roots of King David had prevailed to mash down the works of the vulture. Some are leaves and some are branches. I and the I are the roots. The brains of the tree is in the roots. The golden arrowhead as a banner always points to the truth. You saw it pointing? The roots are hidden in the earth. That's where it does all the work. The stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone. The roots are the head of all existence, including a man and animals. The earth is the head of all science. Earth, the mother, is the Lord's and fullness thereof. Yeah, and got a whistling tip. Yeah, so the education that people get, as Marley called it, brainwash education, by Europeans. By Europeans. It was not formulated by Africans, Chinese, whatever. Chinese have learned to add on to the system and make their own thing out of it. Because what the Europeans do is take out from what was there before. They divide up everything into biology and physics and this and that and that and that. We never divided up into all them things. We dealt with knowledge. Knowledge of plants, knowledge of this, knowledge of that, knowledge of that, knowledge of that. So now they categorize you and learn you only this. You have to learn everything. That is knowledge. And you bank up knowledge. And when you have knowledge, you're strong. And that's why the people today, the intellectuals today, are weak. That's the only thing that they know is this. So that's why they hold on to the system. Babylon is a trick and a trip. So they're now on a trip. They can't lose the system because the system propping them up at the top. Because that's how the system make. The system is a gangster system. It does not deal with fairness. It does not deal with equity. It does not deal with equality. It deals with secrecy, private, And just to prove my point, so great ranks to Chronics as a youngster, a 23-year-old, and the reason that he gave at UG had everyone wrapped because he went deep into roots and consciousness for a 23-year-old. Ghana need to wake up because we had to be sharp since we were 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. Since we were 11. So, Ghana got to wake up. Now, this is true. I just want to mention these two things in these two papers. One is Thursday edition of the Kite Show News, right? Thursday, November the 30th. Now, the risking continues to take jabs at economy. This is the finance minister. The risking is like, my understanding is that banks pull in from services that they have been given because they find it a little risky because they only deal with making profits. And any little risk that they find, they pull in their money or stop services and all this kind of thing. What I just want to show you about this system that you're talking about, and this is quoting the finance minister, right? And I'm just going to read two parts. He said, if the risking continues unchecked, all Caribbean states can ultimately experience an economic collapse. This is capitalism, you know. This fiscal forecast was delivered by Jordan at a high-level meeting in the USA. There, Jordan spoke on behalf of the economies of Guyana and the rest of the Caribbean. He also elaborated on issues between those states and the IMF, as well as where more help can be provided in certain areas. Well, let me move on to Jordan said that the adverse effects of de-risking on international trade, financial stability and growth, and money transfer and remittances have already been felt in many of the Caribbean countries. The finance minister said, if the risking continues unchecked, all Caribbean states can expect to experience some level of macroeconomic instability, financial exclusion, and ultimately economic collapse. The recommendations that have been posited, such as bundling of services, taking out insurance, and collectively approaching correspondent banks, appear to be unrealistic. The issue is further complicated by the fact that banks in the Caribbean do not have a long list of international banks with which they can form correspondent banking relationships. Right? Then he went on to say, Jordan said that over the last 3 years, the region has been addressing this issue not only through the implementation of the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, recommendations on anti-money laundering, combating the financing of terrorism, AML-CFT, but also through numerous studies, reports, and high-level meetings with organizations such as the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, United Nations, and the Commonwealth Secretariat. In spite of numerous promises to address the problem, however, there has been virtually no progress to staunch the hemorrhaging by these banks. This non-action, in light of the substantial work that has already been done, is worrisome, the finance minister expressed. Well, he claimed the IMF and these banks and whatever, they ain't got no time. They ain't care. So he said it's worrisome. This is the situation we're in capitalism. So my problem is that no one criticizes capitalism. Seems like it's only me at this time. No one could. This is the perfect system. There ain't no other better system. It's either this or die. Well, it seems it's not going to happen. You're going to collapse. Because our situation is built on sun. The European country's foundation is built on us. Our own is built on these empty reasonings with their hand on the levers that they could pull out, push in, watch you suffer, take off subsidy. They know drop oil price. They raise price of this, raise price of that. When will African intellectuals, African economists stop promoting capitalism? That's my question. When? As a remedy for Caribbean people or people who need to come up, prosperity. When will they stop doing that? So let me go into some words, right? Let me go into some words. Operator, could you give me some focus on the board? Now, we're dealing with deceit. I want you to read it for yourself. Could you get a little more focus? If not, I hope they can see it. Right? Deceit. Right? The act of deceiving a lie or other dishonest action. The quality of being deceptive. Right? Deceitful. Characterized by deception. False. Tricky. Fraudulent. Right? Deceitfulness, dishonest, disingenuous, two-faced, deceive, to mislead, by or as by falsehood, delude, to practice deceit, desipere, do away and down. De is away and down in Latin, and capere to take. Say the taking you down and taking you away. Right? So I want you to read it for yourself, because some of you still haven't have a dictionary in your house, a proper dictionary. Right? That's why I'm doing this. Now, falsity. Right? I want you to read this thing for yourself. I want it to be as if I am making up these things. Right? Falsity. The quality of being false. A false statement, thing, or appearance. Deceitfulness, dishonesty. Right? Principle. Right? A basic truth, law, force, etc., on which others can be founded. The principle of self-government. An essential character or quality of something. A fundamental origin or cause of something. Moral, this is principally we dealing with, moral standards or rules of conduct, especially superior standards or rules. A man of principle. In natural phenomena, an established law or mode of action. the principle of gravity, the essential mode of operation of something, the principle of a digital computer, right? Principle, having principles, especially moral principles, right? This is what I deal with, you know, words and the meaning of words, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was and is the Almighty, and the Word took on flesh. Man is a word manifest, and the Word is a power. I keep telling you what is powers. That's why a word killed Gaddafi. A word we're going to take away that from them. A word we're going to enslave these people. A word we're going to cut off the head and frighten the rest. His words manifest that people speak, think. That's why it's thought, thinking, word, and deed, action. Right? So when you understand word, that's how I understand everything, you know. That's why people can't come with no stubbornness, because even if they don't speak, from their action, I put it to words. Look what they're doing. They are. Boom, boom, boom. They ain't got to tell me what they're doing, you know. I can see. And your brain could write a picture with words of what really happened. That's why it's got to write a report, you know, in an incident, you know. And if you know, if you're very intelligent and you understand words, that is being intelligent, you know. And being intelligent is understand words and the ability to write it. Reading and understand words and the ability to write it. And writing is drawing. So don't let it confuse you with writing. You know to read and write. You can draw. You could draw letters. Now, elite, right? This is what they create. Some people poor and some people are elites, right? And they brainwash you and fool you. That's why I show you falsity, that the system going to bring you up. Elite, the choicest part out of a society. A small but powerful group, right? A size of typewriter type, equivalent to 10 points with 12 characters to the inch. But this is what it means. A small but powerful group, right? Good. And they do this thing for profit. Profit. This is Lucifer's middle name. Any benefit, advantage, or return. Excess of returns over outlay or expenditure. The gain obtained from invested capital. Also the ratio of gain to the amount of capital invested. Income gained from property, stocks, etc. To be of advantage or benefit. To derive gain or benefit. To be of profit or advantage. So human beings are advantaging each other, are advantaging other human beings, right? Latin, perfectus, or proficere, go forward. Profitable, bringing profit or gain, right? So they put black people in slavery because going to bring profit or gain. They cut off people head because going to bring profit or gain. Advantageous, beneficial, desirable, expedient, gainful, lucrative, productive, useful, worthwhile. They don't tell you about how they go ahead getting this profit. Now they got profiteer, to seek or obtain excessive profits, one who makes excessive profits, especially to the detriment of others. So really it's profiteering. That's what the system is all about. Not even just profit, right? Capitalism. Any economic system in which the means, an economic system in which the means of production and distribution are privately owned and operated for private profit. The principles, power, results of this system. They tell you, right? I hope my head wasn't blocking it. They tell you that capitalism is good, but it's a private profit. It's not for the people. It's not for the public. It's a private. Well, yeah, they tell you you won't get some. How you won't get it? When it's in somebody else's pocket. So that is the reason why you have government. And government's supposed to operate on behalf of the people. Because it's the people's taxes they're collecting. Not the elite taxes they're collecting alone. They're collecting from all the people. That is the bank. Taxes are the bank of the people. And taxes is socialism. Anywhere where the people collective money is being used as socialism. And socialism building the roads. It's not the private sector building the roads. It's socialism building the roads. But they tell you these things. Budget. White man made all these things. It's the people's money we're talking about. It is the People's Progressive Party, not the PPP. The PPP could be punishing poor people. PPP could mean anything. It is the People's Progressive Party. The party to progress the people. Did the people progress? No. PNC was PPP too. It was also the party to progress the people. That's why Bonham brought in the things he was. Free education, free actualization. Isaiah chapter 11, he shall defend the poor and the oppressed. The capitalism system is dealing with the top. And the bottom is whenever. Mr. Granger, the European kind y'all wrong. Look at the reasons there. The reason is there. Well, I dealt with value-added tax with you before, you know. A tax levied on each stage of a product's manufacture and marketing, from the raw material to the final retailer. The ultimate burden being placed on the consumer in the form of higher prices. That's why Bonham had price control and rent control so that the people won't be exploited by the capitalists who wouldn't give a reasonable rent. Right? False. I did falsity before, I did false now. Contrary to truth or fact. Not real or genuine. Artificial. Added only for decoration, deception. A false door. Lying, dishonest, faithless, treacherous, out of tune, not correctly named. That's what they give you wrong names about these things. False foxgloves. It comes from Latin falsus or falere, to deceive. Right? Falsehood. Lack of accord to fact or truth. Untruthfulness. An intentional untruth. A lie. The act of lying. An untrue belief. Right? Equity. Well, dig this one. Equity. Fairness or impartiality. Justness. Something that is fair or equitable. And this is in law now. Justice based on natural reason or ethical judgment. Right? That is in law. Equity in law is justice based on natural reason or ethical judgment. That field of jurisprudence superseding statute law and common law, when these are considered inadequate or inflexible for the purposes of justice. the value of propensity in excess of mortgage or other liens. But you hear the part here, that field of jurisprudence superseding statute law and common law when these are considered inadequate or inflexible for the purpose of justice. Just like the ganja law. Justice based on natural reason or ethical judgment. The Almighty made that. How can you lock up a man for that? Free enterprise. Your own judgment, your own reading the Bible, your own sign on the Bible. And by the way, as I'm speaking on that, Belize has just, I just saw the finance minister of Belize saying, no, not the finance minister, the attorney general saying on Caribbean Newsline, and they were saying what would happen, that this would happen and that would happen, and that the sky would fall. This is what these naysayers were saying. And you know what he's talking about? Belize decriminalized marijuana. And apparently now, time has passed. I don't know when that did happen, because you miss a lot of news, or it's not in the news. Well, I don't get Newsline all the time. But this is what he's saying now. They were saying what would happen, how this would happen and that would happen, and that the sky would fall. But nothing has happened. That's what he's saying. People smoking hemp since in the 70s, what could happen? And Bahamas already legalized hemp oil. Free enterprise. An economic system based upon private ownership and operation of businesses with a minimum of government control. Here's what they want. Private. Removed from public view. You hear that? What is private? Removed from public view. This is the private enterprise. Secret things going on behind the back. Secluded. Confidential. Secret. That is one's own. Personal. Right? Not for the public at large. Not in the public or governmental employ. A private citizen, working and conducted independently of other groups. Private is secret. And it was to do the word secret, so you could hear what secret really means. Right? I wanted to do free, but I want to do equitable. Equitable, characterized by equity, fairness, and just dealing, impartial, and then the God of law, right? Equitable in law is therefore pertaining to or valid in equity as distinguished from common law, right? That's it. Free. Now the word free. Having liberty of action or thought independent. Not confined, imprisoned, or enslaved. Why do we have to do what they tell us to do? Not subject to despotic or arbitrary rule. That's like the ganja law. Not subject to certain regulations or impositions. Free trade. Not encumbered or burdened. Free from debt. Without charge or cost. Available to all. Open. Well, my time is really running down. I wanted to deal with another article. This was Monday, August the 21st, 2017. I had gotten this paper because this is when the president urged planners for a decade of people of African descent to step up work. And then I found this article inside, right? Then there was another article also, MP confident APNO FC will back bill to ease ganja penalties. So I was keeping this paper. Then I noticed the New World website is relevant as ever. I will have to read this the next time, because my time is really going down. But this is about a website with some great Caribbean intellectuals reasoning on the whole Caribbean phenomenon, right? And it's Professor Gervan, which many know of. And this is the thing about, and they're having conference in Guyana, and this was in like 1938, when they're talking about these things, these same ideas in the Caribbean, right? And the article is the New World website, as relevant as ever. It's a website. And this article is by David Abdullah. It's a little lengthy article. David Abdullah, an economist, served as Chief Education and Research Officer at the Oilfields Workers Trade Union, Trinidad and Tobago. Right? I'll have to do it the next time because my time has gone. Right? They had so many other things I wanted to mention about, but I won't be able to. Right? I just want to read Secret to you so you can understand what that word means, because it's a very important word. Secret. Where is it? Secret, secret, secret. Yes. Kept separate or hidden from view or knowledge, or from all persons except the individuals concerned, unseen, affording privacy, secluded, good at keeping secret, close-mouthed, unrevealed. Now, my time is gone. Thanks to Safe TV, thanks to Brother Dominique. I had a few other things I want to speak about, but I don't have the time to. But I guess I'll go into them in the next program, because our African leaders are the greatest problem to African people's existence, and the reason being, which is what this article will be telling you about, and I'll deal with it in the next program, that they keep following what is not true from Europeans. Thanks to Safe TV, thanks to Brother Dominique. See you in the next 2 weeks. Bye.